Hello everyone, Charlie LaVoy here, just going to show you a quick breakdown video of my process in creating this illustration for the growing bed. Obviously working in Photoshop here, also Carapace, which is a separate program you just saw open there. I use that to create my perspective lines so that I've got a nice clean grid to work with. You can see that already came in handy doing like the little ends of the slide, doing the little tiles there along the bottom. Just keeps perspective stuff really easy. Stealing his face here from another illustration that I did for the book, just kind of draw over it to use that as a reference so that I keep his look nice and consistent from panel to panel. Working in the foam there, starting out with just sketching everything, and now we're painting. The first step with doing a painting like this, one of these digital paintings, is just get all the colors onto the screen. That's kind of coming from some of my first painting classes, even doing physical paintings. Just get the color on there, cover it up, get rid of all the white, and just fill everything in. That way you know kind of where you're starting from. And there again, see that grid is so handy to do all those tiles. One of the big challenges with this painting, and a few throughout this book, was water. I really wanted to bring my game up to the next level with doing water, so you'll see once I get to the finishing steps here, I've got some cool techniques for getting the transparency blended with the refractions and reflections and things like that. You can see still filling him in here, keeping his face kind of cartoon-like, sort of in contrast to how I'm going to finish out the scenario, which will be more painterly. But in order to grab the kids' attention and really focus them on the character, we're keeping a cartoon-like face. And that's the foam going in. Obviously, I'm kind of just not much of a plan there, just sort of freewheeling it and seeing what comes out. And like I said, going to be doing some fun stuff with the water later, making sure to keep everything on a lot of different layers separated out so I can try a lot of different techniques with that. The next step in doing these paintings is into the shadows and along the edges of each color mass. We want to take the complementary color to the main color of that color mass and put it into those areas along the edges. So we've got like a dark cyan in the shadows along his face, and that's just going to help make those skin tones pop a little bit more. Then conversely, you'll see on his hair, we really want a very warm tone, not necessarily the complement of anything in particular, but just a nice warm sunny tone, and all those highlights kind of help it feel like a nice sunny day. So in that slide, the complement of more that yellowy orange as opposed to a skin tone is pushing closer to purple. So you can see it's like a purple that I'm working into the shadows and those lines between the segments of the slide. And that should really just make that yellowy orange really pop, make that a really vibrant, fun color for this. So and then getting into that water, starting out with kind of just keeping things sort of transparent. We're seeing a lot of the orange of the slide in that mass of water because we're seeing through it. You'll see when I go and I do the water, the technique that I'll use is we'll just like seed the reflections on there really roughly. Just we know that there's going to be some orange reflected. So here we go. We just draw orange on there. We kind of draw the reflection of those deeper blue tiles. And then we go in with the blender. It'll happen really fast. And we'll trace in the curves of those ripples coming out from where the water's hitting. There it is. Actually ends up being a really simple thing to do, but it gives a really nice, like realistic, rippling water look that I really like. And this thing is pretty close to done here. We're going to just, again, the complement of that magenta. That's just a green in those shadows. Some tiles in the background there. We'll put some tree reflections, like there's some trees along the fence line behind that other pool back there. Just a little detail like that to help it feel like more of a whole robust scene. And we'll want to make the pavement look kind of wet. We'll even maybe put some reflections in there. See where that pillar was? We'll put a reflection of that pillar into the wetness on the ground. Some little details like that just help everything out. And then there's a little bit challenge of what to do with that pavement, because it's just kind of boring, but after playing with it, I think I just decided like there's going to be words over it anyway, so just keep it really simple. And this thing's pretty much done, just a little curve pop of the contrast, and there it is. So thanks for joining me for this little process video. I'll be doing a few more of these for this book. This is called The Growing Bed by Rebecca Linney. Really great children's book that's going to be coming out next year. So I hope you join me next time. Thanks a lot.